The First Amendment says there shall be no law abridging the freedom of speech. What it really means is that the government is not allowed to restrict speech because it's afraid of or concerned about or opposes the message of the speech. The government is allowed to restrict speech on neutral, non-content-based grounds. The rule, courts are going to give the government, the city in this case, a lot of deference. And they're going to say, well, you know, absent evidence to the contrary, we trust that the city is making a good faith effort to make sure, for example, that there is enough public safety coverage, that there are enough police on the scene to make sure that public order is maintained. And when the city tells us that they really just can't protect a 2.5-mile parade route, you know, in the middle of a working day or whatever it may be, we will believe them. We'll defer to that. And I think the First Amendment allows the city to take that interest into account. That's not a content-based interest that says we don't want anti-NATO or anti-war or anti-military speech. On the contrary, it's an interest that says we do want that kind of speech, but we want it to go on in a way that allows the event to function and that allows the public to go about its way and the city to look good, frankly, and to function well. There's dangers for both sides if things get out of control. And I think that's, you know, in a sense, that's what Mayor Emanuel probably wants the most, is for the city to show well in the eyes of the world, for Chicago and the United States to show whoever's watching that we can accommodate, not just tolerate, but actually accommodate and even celebrate the right of free speech. To the extent that Emanuel loses sleep over anything, he probably lies there tossing and turning, hoping that we don't have a situation like we did in Seattle, for example, where there were protesters who were beaten up and so forth, and real mayhem. So I think that the city wants to avoid that. So hopefully all sides can make that happen, and you know, whether they all want that to happen is something else. I mean, some of the protesters probably want there to be a black eye on the city of Chicago. Others probably don't. I would imagine that some individual police officers probably want to kick some butt, but most of them don't. And I don't think that's what the city wants. So we'll see.